All right. So, Steve, you touched on this at the top of the show, and I want to come back to it because I pulled up the depth chart for the Miami Hurricanes for their opening game against Texas A&M in 2022. Yeah. This was Mario's first year. So this is after Mario came in, signed the class, got transfers. This is not what he inherited. This is what he inherited plus. So quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, currently a backup. We know how that story ended as far as his mental breakdown on the field. Running back, it's an or situation. Henry Parrish or Jalen Knighton. Two guys under 190 pounds. So I think a little bit of size difference from those guys what we're seeing with Mark Fletcher here.
And our power back was Thad Franklin. Don't forget him.
Oh, yeah, there he is right there on the roster. We got a guy named Lucius Stanley, who I believe was picked up straight off the street.
Yes.
UAB.
He was a UAB guy, but he was literally he's like a street free agent. He wasn't
in August.
It was like in August. Like in the middle of the season. Yeah. John Campbell or Zion Nelson at left tackle. I think Zion never played that year, if I recall. Maybe he did. I don't remember. But Campbell ended up being that guy. And then left guard, Jalen Rivers, NFL player, right? The one NFL player who was developed under Mario. Center, Ja'Kai Clark. So you have three centers on the right side of this offensive line. You have Ja'Kai Clark, who's 6'3", really a center. Justice Oluwaseun, if you remember him. I believe he's from Houston. Where was he from? He was from UNLV, something like that.
UNLV.
6'3".
With Justice.
Yeah, 6'3", another center type body. DJ Scaife, 6'3", at right tackle, another center type body. Then you go to receiver, and basically you're talking about SMU's receiving core. Colby Young eventually, who was an addition by Mario, ended up working his way up. And then you had Restrepo, but he was banged up this year. Tight end, you had Arroyo, but he was hurt. Will Mallory, NFL player. That was your best prospect on that offense. That's your offense. I mean, physically, just body-wise, the comparison is night and day. These guys are all pretty much undersized. So that's just the offense. On the defensive side, and Steve, I promise you I'll kick it back to you. I just want to – this is just –
You glossed over Brashard Smith.
He was a receiver, which, of course, we know he can't play. Made the move to running back.
He's a phenomenal running back.
He's a very athletic kick returner and running back specialist. So on the defensive side, Steve and Pete, Messidor at end, of course, is now back where he began, but he wasn't what he was then. He's worked his way up. He was very good then, though. Taylor and Harrison Hunt, two underachieving, undersized defensive ends. Daryl Jackson, our old friend at defensive tackle. Jafari Harvey, another SMU guy. And a defensive backfield. I'm going piece by piece because I just want to paint the picture. I had not looked at this in a while, Steve. I promise you, I'm going to give you the floor. The Corey Couch at nickel, 175. Corey Flagg, 5'10", at best, at linebacker. Wayman Steed, 5'11", and banged up. Our guy. Then the secondary actually got good players. DJ Ivy, pro. Cam Kitchens, pro. James Williams, pro. Tyreek Stevenson, pro. But they didn't perform like that for various reasons with coaches that are no longer here. So, Steve, as I go through that roster, which was not even what Mario inherited. It was what Mario inherited plus what he added. How far have we come?
Light years. I mean, you're talking about guys like Michael Redding was our third or fourth receiver. Keontre Smith, I believe, was our nickel backer. I was looking back. So this is where I'm very grateful to the efforts of Mario Cristobal and his staff. If you go back to 2022, last night I'm watching ESPN2, and who else was playing but Middle Tennessee State? And that was the game that was right after the A&M loss. We lost that one 17-9. And I don't know if people remember this, but that was the MTSU game was a rain delay or weather delay game, right? So it took about another hour or so to get going. And if you watched it on TV, they couldn't use all the cameras because of the lightning. So by the time they got to the game, they showed this really funny camera angle. And I wish I would have kept it on my DVR because it almost looked like they had what I call the vertigo vision. It was just very strange. And that was a game that Tyler Van Dyke basically threw 2 interceptions in his first 3 passes. We get blown out. And it was, look, we played A&M pretty tough at Kyle Field. So you're thinking, okay, we can bounce back. We could still piece together 8-9 wins. The MTSU game, I believe, was a slap in the face of reality to every single one of us. Like, we're in trouble. This right here is shades of 1997. And this is a funny story. My buddy, Canes Are Able, one of the great posters on CIS, Spencer.
Our guy.
Let's go back to the week before Florida State. He had moved from California to Texas, and he's in town. I said, oh, great. Let's meet at Barney's Beanery in Hollywood. Now, Barney's Beanery, for all the LA Canes out there, they have a weekly game watch with a lot of the alums, fans. They clear off half the building for us. But the Virginia game, the one that started by Jake Garcia, that's another name, a blast from the past.
Michigan now, Steve.
Yes. Well, and so that game starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Well, Barney's Beanery, this is LA. We're not serious people out here. They don't open till 10, even on college football Saturday. So
Isn't it a coffee place?
I got to move. Yeah, I know. So I tell Spencer, I said, Spencer, let's meet for breakfast, but meet me at 10 because they're not opening till 9. So I'm literally leaving my house at about 9:40. I'm watching this game on my phone. And when we get to the Barney's Beanery, and this is the bandwagon nature of everybody, me and Spencer were the only people there watching the Miami game. It was one of the most depressing things. I'm like, people, you don't, I get it. We're not good, but we only get 12 of these a year. So literally they clear off half the building for us. And me and Spencer are by ourselves with the guy that sets it up. And he still asked us to sign in. So think about this, guys. That game, I think, was a double overtime game, but the score was only 14-12.
0 touchdowns.
That's almost impossible in modern day college football to go into double overtime and to win 14-12. And I still remember Jake Garcia rolling out. And I love Jake. He's a California kid. Jake, you could have flipped it to Khalil Brantley and given him his moment of glory, but he was so afraid of his own arm, he just ran it in and we won. And I remember going home because Spencer had to go, and I'm thinking, we're bad. That's the worst win I've ever seen. And then the next week, I remember the buildup. Okay, we're going to rally the troops. Rivalry game. We sell it out. We're going to beat Florida State. Man, Jordan Travis drops back, sees it. Pokey Wilson running past DJ Ivy, hit him on the post. And I remember thinking, it's over. It's over.
Well,
and it was 45-3. And I said, wow, this is Mario's 1997 because that was as bad as 47-0. And look where we are now. Got to give Cristobal credit.
So where are we now? What did you see when you watched Miami with all that context? We took everybody down a very painful memory lane. Just how bad the roster was, how bad that season was. We're 4 years here, flash forward, watching Miami against the Florida State. Same Florida State team that really outclassed is the wrong word. Beat us up there in 2022. So now, fast forward, what are you seeing with this program?
There are, right now, this particular season, there are 3 teams that stand out. Oregon, Ohio State, Miami. And look, there may be a 4th team, maybe Alabama keeps coming on, but when I look at those 3 teams, they are complete football teams on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They have high-level quarterback play. I think Julian Sain is actually coming on. They're unfolding that offense. I think Ryan Dave's done a really good job of bringing him along. But, someone actually said, Steve, wait till next year. And I said, folks, with the transfer portal and the NIL, this is a semester-to-semester sport. There are no more 5-year developmental runs. You play year to year. And I told this person, unless you know something about Ruben Bain and Carson Beck, we have them for about hopefully 14 more games or 13 more games. That's the way I'm looking at it. So you have to make it work now. As George Allen once said, the future is now. Miami is built, if everything goes okay and we don't get hit with the rash of injuries, knock on wood, this is a team that should have more aspirations than just making it to Charlotte in the first week of December. It should be a team that should not be satisfied with just making the playoffs. That's what I see.